When we talk about arthritis, most people think of medications, creams, and painful treatments. But what if I told you that what you put on your plate every day could be the secret to relieving pain, reducing inflammation, and restoring the freedom of movement that arthritis silently steals from you? The truth is, there are foods as powerful as medicine, but almost no one talks about them. Have you ever felt trapped inside your own body, as if every step, every bend of the knee, every lift of the arm was a small battle? If so, know that you are not alone and, more importantly, there is a natural way to reverse this reality. Certain plant-based foods contain specific proteins that not only deeply nourish your joints and muscles, but also fight inflammation in a clean, light, and ongoing way. Ancient wisdom and modern scientific studies already point to this. These plant-based proteins act like true silent remedies, accessible, simple, and highly effective. And the best part? We're not talking about radical diets or expensive supplements. We're talking about practical, natural solutions that can transform your body from the inside out, starting with your plate. Today, you will discover the top 5 plant-based proteins to relieve joint pain, reduce chronic inflammation, and restore your vitality, especially if you're already feeling the effects of aging on your joints. And stay with me until the end, because I'll also reveal a little-known bonus trick that further boosts the effects of these proteins in your body. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what is the biggest challenge arthritis brings you today? Before we reveal the powerful proteins that can transform your joint health, it's important to understand why these natural solutions are still so little talked about in the Western world. In several regions of Asia, especially Japan and India, entire communities have been using specific plant sources for centuries to treat joint pain and fight chronic inflammation. These ancient practices are part of what we now know as traditional Asian medicine. A study conducted by Japanese researchers, recently presented at a Natural Therapies Congress, revealed that populations who regularly consumed certain types of plant proteins had inflammation levels up to 65% lower than groups following standard diets. Participants also reported a drastic reduction in joint pain, improved mobility, and a greater overall sense of well-being, all without the use of synthetic medications. What's striking is that, despite the solid data backing these findings, they rarely gain attention in major media channels. Many experts hypothesize that the highly profitable pharmaceutical industry, which makes billions from pain and inflammation medications, has little interest in promoting natural, accessible alternatives that could threaten this lucrative market. That's why, in this video, we're going beyond the surface. We'll bring to light what has already been working for thousands of people around the world, even if few openly talk about it. Now, let's dive into the top 3 plant-based proteins that can completely change your relationship with pain. When we talk about naturally fighting arthritis, few people imagine that the answer could lie in something as small, ancient, and powerful as spirulina. This blue-green algae, revered for over 1,000 years by Asian and African civilizations, is considered one of the most complete and anti-inflammatory foods in existence. But why is it that, even today, this information is still rarely explored in the fight against joint pain? Spirulina is a true powerhouse of highly absorbable proteins, rich in essential amino acids, potent antioxidants, and bioactive compounds capable of neutralizing deep inflammatory processes in the body, exactly the processes that damage our joints over the years. Modern studies show that it can reduce inflammatory markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha by up to 50%, without the side effects of conventional anti-inflammatory drugs. Imagine replacing harsh medications with a natural source that strengthens your muscles, rejuvenates your tissues, and purifies your blood from inflammatory toxins. Sounds too good to be true? Know that, in many traditional cultures, spirulina was always seen not just as food, but as a sacred remedy, and modern science is finally beginning to confirm what the ancients knew centuries ago. What's most impressive is that despite its enormous potential, spirulina is still a little explored treasure in arthritis treatment. Perhaps because simple and natural solutions often don't get the attention they deserve. But the truth is, its power is real, regenerating joints, reducing deep inflammation, and restoring lost vitality. And stay with me, because at the end of this video, I'll reveal a little-known strategy that boosts spirulina's effects in your body and can transform your health in surprising ways. When it comes to powerful arthritis-fighting foods, almost no one thinks of humble chickpeas, maybe because they seem too simple, too accessible. But that's exactly where the secret lies. They are one of the richest and most anti-inflammatory plant protein sources in nature. With an impressive combination of amino acids, antioxidants, and essential minerals, chickpeas work deeply to restore inflamed joints and strengthen weakened muscles without the destructive side effects of common medications. To understand the potential of this plant, just look at the story of Liang, a 62-year-old Chinese teacher who suffered from severe osteoarthritis. After years of bouncing between strong painkillers and failed rehabilitation attempts, Liang discovered a traditional Asian nutrition study recommending daily chickpea consumption to restore joint vitality. In just 4 months, she not only walked without crutches again, but also began teaching yoga to seniors. Doctors and physiotherapists were stunned. The only change in her routine was the massive inclusion of chickpeas in her daily meals. Modern research confirms what ancient traditions already knew. Chickpeas contain bioactive compounds that reduce IL-1, bione, TNF, alpha levels, two of the main culprits behind joint pain and swelling. And even more surprising, chickpeas also promote natural collagen production and strengthen ligaments, something that conventional treatments rarely achieve sustainably. So why is such a powerful food so rarely discussed in clinics? It's simple. It doesn't generate profit. No one can patent a plant that anyone can grow in their backyard. That's why, while expensive pain pills are pushed onto people, few talk about the pure, natural, regenerative protein that chickpeas provide. Moreover, regular consumption of chickpeas can also help with weight control, reducing joint overload, and promoting overall health. Now, imagine, if a simple food like chickpeas can cause this kind of transformation in the body, what could happen when you combine this natural strength with other powerful plant-based proteins that I'll reveal next? We're just getting started. Sometimes, what can transform our health is right in front of our eyes, yet we fail to notice it. Pumpkin seeds are one of these silent treasures, small, humble, and absolutely powerful. Few people realize that these seeds contain a unique combination of proteins, magnesium, zinc, and antioxidants that directly help relieve joint pain, rebuild tissues, and fiercely combat the chronic inflammatory processes that slowly destroy mobility over time. One case that illustrates the strength of these seeds is Susan's story, a 67-year-old American retiree who suffered from severe degenerative arthritis. She could barely get out of bed without sharp, stabbing pain in her hips and knees. After countless failed attempts with conventional medications, Susan found an old functional nutrition book recommending the daily intake of pumpkin seeds. 3 months later, the transformation was undeniable. Dramatically reduced pain, more energy, greater independence, and most shocking of all, imaging tests showed a significant reduction in joint inflammation, something even doctors struggled to explain. Scientifically, pumpkin seeds stand out for their high concentration of tryptophan, magnesium, and phenolic antioxidants. Tryptophan helps improve mood and reduce perceived pain, while magnesium fights inflammation and enhances muscle recovery. Zinc, on the other hand, is essential for tissue regeneration. This combo makes pumpkin seeds a true natural pharmacy compacted into just a few grams a day. Even more impressively, regular consumption of pumpkin seeds not only regenerates joints, but also strengthens bones, improves sleep quality, and regulates immune response benefits that create an internal environment where inflammation can no longer take hold as devastatingly. We're talking about a food so complete that, if launched as a lab-made supplement, it would cost a fortune, yet it can be found at any market or natural food store. It's no wonder ancient natural medicine practices always included pumpkin seeds in joint and immune-strengthening protocols. Modern science simply confirms what popular wisdom has known for generations. And every spoonful of this superfood delivers not just nutrition, but a silent opportunity to rebuild your vitality from the inside out, day after day. It's in this hidden power of simplicity where true transformation lies, not in miracle formulas or expensive treatments, but in conscious choices that restore your body's natural healing ability. Pumpkin seeds, with their unique nutritional profile, are one of these choices, and they might be the missing piece that unlocks your freedom of movement. In the world of plant-based proteins, few foods carry a legacy as powerful as quinoa. Cultivated for thousands of years by the Inca people, it was considered a divine gift, capable of strengthening warriors, healing wounds, and prolonging life. Today, modern science proves what the ancients already knew. Quinoa is one of the richest sources of complete plant protein, offering all the essential amino acids necessary to rebuild and protect worn-out joints. To show its true power, let's look at Robert's story, a 72-year-old American war veteran who suffered from post-traumatic arthritis. For years, Robert lived on painkillers and painful therapies, never finding a lasting solution. That changed when, during a trip to Peru, he discovered a community that used quinoa as a dietary staple to prevent joint diseases. Inspired, Robert started consuming quinoa daily in various dishes. In 6 months, the seemingly impossible happened. His pain nearly vanished, and he resumed long walks, something he thought he'd never do again. Quinoa not only provides extremely high-quality proteins, it's also rich in magnesium, manganese, and antioxidants like quercetin, which combat chronic inflammation at the cellular level. And unlike many traditional protein sources, quinoa is extremely gentle on the digestive system, allowing for faster recovery without toxic overloads that could worsen pain. Another impressive feature of quinoa is its direct effect on bone metabolism. Thanks to its balanced mineral profile, it not only preserves joint health, but also strengthens bones, helping to prevent the bone mass loss so common after age 50. It's truly a complete source of regeneration, simple, accessible, and extremely effective. Despite all these benefits, quinoa is still underestimated as a complementary treatment for arthritis. Perhaps because natural solutions, which don't require high costs or dependence on medications, aren't prioritized in a system that profits more from treating than curing. But for those seeking freedom of movement and true transformation, quinoa can be a real game changer. Combining it with other plant-based proteins that strengthen the joints creates an even more powerful synergistic effect. And once you start feeling the positive impact on your body, you'll understand why entire civilizations considered this tiny grain the white gold of vitality. You might have expected to find yet another powerful plant here. But sometimes, true transformation isn't about piling on random elements, it's about knowing how to orchestrate everything nature has already given us in an intelligent, strategic, and focused way. That's why I'm not just going to introduce you to another food, I'm going to reveal a special combination that doesn't just add benefits, but multiplies the effects of the plant-based proteins we've already discussed, creating a natural catalyst for joint regeneration that few people know about or use. This powerful recipe integrates 4 superfoods: spirulina, chickpeas, quinoa, and pumpkin seeds. Each of these ingredients on its own already has an impressive anti-inflammatory potential. But when combined intelligently with the strategic addition of one bioactive element, extra virgin olive oil, real biochemical magic happens. Olive oil isn't just a culinary adornment. It's the silent engine that increases the bioavailability of essential compounds like antioxidants, phytonutrients, and regenerative fatty acids. In other words, it transforms the intestinal absorption of these elements, allowing them to reach your cells faster and more effectively. Inside your body, what happens after consuming this recipe is profound and powerful. Spirulina acts first, delivering a heavy load of rare antioxidants like phycocyanin that reduce oxidative stress in inflamed joints. Meanwhile, chickpeas offer an explosion of essential amino acids that rebuild muscle fibers, collagen, and connective tissue elements often overlooked by conventional treatments. Quinoa, in turn, delivers high amounts of quercetin and chiempherol, compounds that directly modulate inflammatory genes and silence biochemical signals that perpetuate pain. Pumpkin seeds, rich in zinc, magnesium, and phenolic antioxidants, work to strengthen bone structure, improve mineral density, and boost the production of synovial fluid, essential for painless joint movement. Extra virgin olive oil, for its part, acts as an intelligent bridge between these nutrients and your body's cells. It facilitates the passage through intestinal barriers, ensuring that active compounds arrive intact at inflamed tissues. Moreover, it contains oleocanthal, a natural phenol that mimics the action of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, by inhibiting the COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes, major players in chronic pain. The difference? Olive oil does this without causing side effects to the stomach, liver, or kidneys, a benefit few pharmaceutical drugs can offer. Imagine the impact of this synergy working inside you. Less circulating inflammatory stress, less destruction of joint tissue, less morning stiffness. Now imagine your tissues receiving, day by day, nutrients that truly rebuild what has been lost, not just mask the pain temporarily. This isn't a magic fix. It's pure science and ancient wisdom coming together at your table, accessible, simple, yet incredibly powerful. And there's more. This recipe also acts on another level, often ignored by traditional treatments, the level of vital energy. By reducing oxidative stress and restoring tissues, your body releases fewer inflammatory cytokines, which directly impacts your mood, sleep quality, and overall disposition. Studies show that arthritis patients who successfully modulate these internal markers of inflammation not only experience less pain, but also see profound improvements in quality of life, more energy to walk, play with grandchildren, travel, and truly live. Practically speaking, consuming this recipe 2 to 3 times a week creates an internal environment where inflammation gives way to natural recovery. Over time, you'll notice your body moving with less effort, mornings no longer being synonymous with suffering, and small daily victories, climbing stairs, carrying a bag, stretching your arms without pain becoming a natural part of your life again. Every meal becomes an act of conscious rebuilding, a silent yet steady step towards a life with less pain and more freedom. This is not just a functional recipe, it's a food protocol disguised as simplicity, an alchemy of natural elements that, when combined correctly, awaken the dormant restorative power within you. A way to reclaim the power of your own healing without relying solely on external or palliative solutions. a quiet yet profound path toward true regeneration. Now that you understand the impact of this combination on your body, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. Knowing is not enough, action is required. And what you do next could be your first major step toward reclaiming the lightness that pain once stole from you. Carefully and intentionally choosing the right ingredients is the first move in this transformation. 1 cup of cooked chickpeas, previously soaked for 8 hours to eliminate anti-nutrients and maximize absorption, and ½ cup of cooked quinoa, rinsed under running water, 1 teaspoon of pure spirulina powder, 2 tablespoons of lightly toasted pumpkin seeds, and a generous drizzle of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, along with natural seasonings like turmeric, black pepper, and fresh lemon. Cooking with awareness is also crucial. Chickpeas and quinoa should be cooked separately, respecting their natural cooking times to preserve their texture and maintain maximum nutrient concentration. No rush, no shortcuts. Rebuilding your health starts with the patience to honor your food and what it represents for your body. Assembling the recipe should feel like performing a healing ritual. In a large bowl, mix the warm chickpeas and quinoa, allowing the gentle heat to release important bioactive compounds. Add the spirulina powder, the pumpkin seeds, and finish with the olive oil and natural seasonings. Mix calmly, ensuring that each grain is fully coated with this restorative blend of nutrients. Ideally, you should eat this meal immediately after preparation, when its bioactive compounds are most potent. If that's not possible, storing it in a tightly sealed glass container in the fridge and consuming it within 24 hours is acceptable, but freshness is always your best ally. Eating it while still slightly warm enhances absorption and activates metabolic processes that help regenerate tissues. For this recipe to truly and deeply act on your body, it must be incorporated into your routine 2 to 3 times per week. Consistency is key. Each meal is like a drop of water shaping the rock of chronic inflammation. One isolated meal won't change everything, but conscious repetition will create a new internal environment, a body that rebuilds itself from within. Simple strategies can boost the effects of this recipe even further. For example, taking 10 minutes of sunlight after the meal stimulates natural vitamin D production, crucial for bone and joint health. Or starting your day with warm water and lemon, alkalizing the body and preparing the digestive system for better absorption of regenerative nutrients. But to make this transformation solid, you must also avoid silent sabotages. Reducing or eliminating ultra-processed foods, refined sugars, and artificial fats is essential. You can't build with one hand while destroying with the other. Every food choice you make sends a message to your body, to inflame or to heal, to degenerate or to regenerate. More than just a recipe, this practice represents a silent pact with your health. By mixing each ingredient, by respecting each process, you are telling yourself that you deserve to live without pain, that you choose freedom over limitation. Each spoonful is a powerful reminder that true healing doesn't come from magic formulas, but from daily choices made with awareness and purpose. Now that you've learned about the plant-based proteins to relieve joint pain and reduce inflammation naturally, it's time to realize that true power has always been in your hands. The industry might try to hide, mask, or downplay this information, but no one can take away your control over what you put on your plate, in your body, and in your life. Every conscious meal is a firm step toward freedom, vitality, and a new story for your joints, a story without silent suffering. It's not just about eliminating physical pain. It's about reclaiming what pain took away: the desire to live fully, the autonomy to do what you love, the joy in small movements once taken for granted. Maybe modern society made us believe that aging equals decay, but ancient wisdom proves otherwise. With the right choices, we can age with strength, energy, and dignity. If you feel that this content has opened a new perspective for you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to join this community that believes in transformation through knowledge. And more, leave a comment with the phrase, "I choose to live without pain," to seal your commitment to yourself. I want to see who's truly willing to change their destiny. Remember, small actions create big changes. Choosing foods that heal is choosing a different future. You deserve to live your best days with strong joints, a light body, and a free spirit. The path is open, and the decision to walk it is yours alone.